Okay.
All right, now we're live.
Hey
Uh,
guys, I'm eating. What else is new?
all
Eating on
right.
air.
Looks like you're eating a leaf.
Oh, I got sizzle steaks, just the thinnest steak that you can possibly get. So it
Uh,
literally takes 5 minutes to fry them up.
Thought maybe that was steakums.
No, 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 no.
All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's get the show started. Here we go. In
Okay.
three, two, one. Ooh, that music can
Here
only
we go.
mean one thing. It is time for the Open Micers Podcast. I am Jason Robbins.
I am fat. Also, my name's Jacob Craig,
Yeah,
and we're gonna do a podcast tonight, guys.
fantastic.
Hell
Because
yeah.
we had a guest, but as per usual, the guest dropped out at the last second. So here we are
Kind of.
on the
To be
bleeding
fair,
edge.
to be fair, he kind of dropped out.
Yeah.
I'm also just fucking lazy. And dude, here's the thing. If you're good to go all the way up until the day of the podcast, and then you give me a whole bunch of hoops to jump through, come on, man. Like I'm not gonna beg someone to come on my podcast. All right,
Yeah. We don't need all that.
we don't need
We're
all
not
that.
gonna beg.
As much as I would have loved to have talked to him.
Yeah, we don't need to beg. We've had enough guests on here. We don't need to beg.
These episodes do better numbers anyways, because people are like, oh, they're gonna say something to cancel
Yeah.
themselves.
I know people tend to like these episodes better than our guest episodes, and tell us why. Is it because we
Tell me why ain't
nothing but a podcast? Tell me why. But why do you like these better? Tell us. Tell us why. Is it because we're idiots and you like to know about our personal lives, or are we horrible interviewers? Like, what's the deal? Tell us what's going on here. What are we
I
doing
honestly
wrong?
feel like I'm a horrible interviewer, even though I used to do that like semi-professionally. I feel like I'm the worst fucking interviewer.
Nah, you're all right. You get kind of quiet sometimes, but I tend to hog the guests a lot of the time too.
No, and I'm glad you do that because in my mind I'm like silently panicking because I'm like I don't have a fucking question to ask this person
You know, the
because
best way to interview somebody is to listen to what they're saying. Just listen to what they're saying and ask follow-up questions.
no, I listen, but so here's my interview process, right? Most of the time, if I'm really excited about a guest, I will write just a page of interview questions.
Mhm.
One page of questions. It's like five prepared questions. But the thing is, the interviews that I've done that in, and the interviews turned out fantastic. Neil Rubenstein, for
Mhm.
instance, I would say that's one of our best episodes,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I didn't ask a single question from that page. I wasn't able to because we could have done that podcast for 3 hours.
Well, yeah, because that dude's good at what he does.
True.
But my whole interview style for the last 8, 9, 10 years, 12, 13, no, yeah, 12 years I've been podcasting is just sort of go in knowing a little bit about that person, at least what they do, what they've done, and then just
Yeah.
ask a few questions, get them going, and then just let them go, and then just guide the conversation from there.
I mean, I try, like I really do, but it's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Because when I prepare questions, I know it's going to be a good interview. Because even if I'm failing, I have no chemistry with this person across the Zoom screen. I have questions that I can ask them, but then I spend all that time writing all those questions and I don't get to ask them
Yeah. Do
like
you hear
90% of
that?
the
Do you
time.
hear that bass booming in the background? Do you hear that through my
Is
microphone?
in your background?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it's not anymore, but I think it's my neighbor's boyfriend has this
Really?
big red like Ford F-150 that's lowered, and of
Yeah.
course it's got like the loudest fucking stereo on the planet. I am officially an old man now because I hear loud stereos and I just want to I just want to go punch them in the ear. Like I
Yeah.
can't stand it.
I mean, I wouldn't say now you're officially an old man. Like it didn't like just happen. But also like that guy has like a giant penis, you know? Like he has to
Yeah.
have just the biggest penis.
Yeah. And why would you do that in an apartment complex anyway? Like people are trying to sleep,
Mm-hmm.
people are like live here, and you're just like driving around. Like everybody fucking hates you. Like, do you not know that people hate you? Hate your
Dude,
guts?
I work at a gas station now. People do that constantly, blaring music. But the
Yeah.
most annoying thing, people will just lay on their fucking horns for whatever reason. And
Why?
I almost fought a child yesterday
Okay.
because I was in the kitchen, so I had gloves on, hairnet on, and I just hear just the longest horn I have ever heard. Like someone like died like on a horn, just fucking
Just
head
like
first.
face first.
But I just assumed that it was like some asshole, like some two people getting into some kind of altercation. So I went out there with a bag of frozen tornadoes in my hand. By the way, I flung the fucking front door of the gas station open, and I went out there to like fucking fight two people at the same time because I was so done with it. Because as you may have heard in the news, the Powerball jackpot that someone just won was $2.5 billion.
Yeah, I bought a ticket yesterday. I didn't win.
I bought several tickets because I work at a place that sells them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I worked 11 straight hours. I got overtime because there were so many fucking people coming to get Powerball tickets that they worked me overtime. And that the day after, someone lays on their fucking horn, and I go out there ready to fight two people, and it's some kid in the driver's seat laying the horn on, and his mom's in the store taking a long time apparently, and we locked eyes, and he like scurried back into the back seat because he was like, "Oh, a gas station man's gonna fight me."
How old was this kid?
Probably like too young, probably to be in the car by himself.
Yeah, I was thinking if like this is a little tiny kid, like are you just leaving your kid in the car? Like is the
Yeah,
car running or is it?
it wasn't running. No, it was up. It was put up to the gas pump, so
Hmm.
it wasn't running.
All right.
Yeah, it was probably like 5 or 6, something like
Welcome to
that.
Mississippi.
Yeah, yeah. No, I
Oh,
mean
you
you
should
see the
have just
worst
opened the
parents.
door and just smashed that kid in the face with that whole bag of tornadoes.
Yeah, just fucking started slapping him. His mom was Asian. She probably would have approved.
Probably. As long as you give her the tornadoes, it would be all good.
Yeah, right. Dude, speaking of working at a gas station, though, I have a story
Yeah.
of something that I had to do.
Hit me with it. Did you have
Um,
to wipe cum off the bathroom floor?
Wait, who told you?
Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Really? I was just
yeah,
guessing.
no, yeah, no, that's what happened, Bubba.
Holy shit. Dude, that was completely just a shot in the dark. I was just like, dude, I was making a joke. I completely wasn't like being for real, but you really did.
That's exactly what happened. So here's the whole story, right? I come in at like 11 o'clock, and I use the bathroom before my shift starts,
Did
and
you
I
step in
look in
it?
the handicap.
Oh,
Huh?
I thought I was gonna say, did you step in it? Ew.
No, 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 no. So I open the handicap stall just a little bit and look in there to see if I can go in there and use it. And there's just like this bubbly white stuff all over the handicap stall. And so my mind, I say, oh, someone made a mess with the soap in here, and I guess no one's cleaned it up yet because it looked like just little soapy bubbles, you know? And
Yeah.
it was everywhere, up the wall, like almost touching the ceiling. I'm serious. All over the floor. And as I leave the bathroom, I didn't use the handicap stall. I just went to the urinal. As I leave the bathroom, there's like a drop of it by the trash can exiting the door to the bathroom. And I'm like, that's gotta be soap. That's gotta be, someone just made a mess with soap everywhere. And so I'm on the register like 3 hours later. Someone comes up to the register and says, hey, someone did their business all over the bathroom, and you might want to go clean that up before someone gets sick or something. And I'm like, oh, someone shit all over the bathroom. Sure, like certainly someone shit all over the bathroom. And it wouldn't have been the first time someone has shit all over that bathroom. So I'm like, I gotta go fucking mop up shit. And I go in there and it's just what I think is soap everywhere. And I'm thinking and I'm processing and I realize it's not soap. I'm mopping up someone's babies today and I'm mopping the wall. I'm mopping up and down the wall because this person was well motivated with what they had to do. And I'm not saying that there's any time that it's acceptable to cum all over a gas station bathroom. But 11 o'clock isn't it. Before 11 p.m., I mean, before 11 a.m., like that's not it. That's not acceptable.
I don't even know what to say. That's just awful.
And like, did this person, were they like, oh, I gotta go fucking come in this bathroom? Or did they like work on it? Were they there for like 30 minutes? Like, this is a project for me.
I mean, how much would you say it was? I mean, you say it's coated in the bathroom. Like
more than I personally have ever ejaculated in my entire life. It's the most. It is it's like volume, dude.
Are you sure it wasn't soap?
No, we got a good look at it after after I realized what it was and brought other people in to look at it because everyone at work wanted to see the cum. They were all like, "Yep, that's what that is."
You should have charged people to go in and look at it. You could have made a little extra money.
For sure, dude. Should have charged like $5.
That's
and then
just
put it all
the worst.
Yeah.
See, I'm glad I don't have to work a job where I have to clean up after people in bathrooms because that's just the worst. Like that's the worst part of service jobs is having to clean the bathrooms. Worst thing that ever happened to me. I used to work at a local pizza buffet restaurant, and I got told by the boss I had to go clean up in the bathroom because someone had jammed up the toilet, and so I went in the bathroom to with the plunger. And so, a bottle of spray and some paper towels and stuff, because it happens. It's in a restaurant. Like the toilet tends to get plugged up, so you got to go in there and handle it. So I was told to go in there and do it. I go in there and it's your usual, toilet backed up. Like someone put way too much toilet paper in there, and like it wouldn't even go down. So I go in there with the plunger. I'm trying to break up the toilet paper, with the plunger, and I'm plunging it, trying to get the water to go down. And I guess there was some kind of like air bubble, or there was a reverse pressure happened because I pulled out the plunger and it just exploded out of the toilet, and like it went all over like my shirt, and like some of it was on my face. And I walked up out of the bathroom, walked to the register, and the boss was like, "What happened to you?" I was like, clocked out, didn't say anything. I clocked out and went home and took a shower, like 3 showers, hot showers.
Cold showers.
Yeah.
I think you've told that story on here before.
I probably have.
Because we've gone over before like the worst things that we've had to do at work.
The worst thing, one of the worst ones too, was when I worked at the movie theater back in the 90s, and someone, and this was like back in the days, I think Jurassic Park 2 was playing, and it was the big opening weekend for like Jurassic Park 2, and I was working, and someone left the theater, and I guess they had eaten pretty much an entire large popcorn, and they had a large icy, and maybe some gummy bears or something, because there was a lot of vomit leading down the hallway into the men's room. And he goes in the men's room, vomits in the sink, then leaves the sink and goes to the urinal, vomits in the urinal, then leaves the urinal and goes and vomits in the toilet, like leaving a trail of vomit everywhere they went. I was just like, what the fuck, man?
And are you the kind of person when you have to clean that kind of thing up? Like, do you gag and like start to vomit too?
Not really. I don't really get like vomitous. The only thing that really makes me want to throw up is smells.
Yeah,
Like I can
me
see
too.
something gross all day long, but the minute I smell something gross, that's what makes me want to
Mhm.
throw up.
Yeah.
Because even as
So
an EMT, I mean, when I was an EMT, I mean, I've seen people's brains hanging out of their head. Like that shit doesn't bother me. But you
right.
give me brains hanging out of a head and like and I smell something at the same time. That's it. That there's no coming back from that.
Yeah. So also at the gas station that I had to clean up, um, someone pulled a Jacob Craig. Someone pulled a Jacob Craig.
Oh.
They shit their pants in line, waiting to
In
check out
line while
in line.
waiting in line.
Yep. Apparently the line was too long.
I mean,
So
they
they,
couldn't.
they
Were they waiting in line to go to the bathroom, or were they waiting in
no,
line at the register?
at the register.
So you're
They
telling
should
me they couldn't just get out of line and go to the bathroom and not shit themselves?
no. So apparently I was really pissed about this. Apparently it was like a sick, like 12-year-old kid, turns out.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, like it was like not like a smart 12-year-old kid, like probably like an undiagnosed,
Okay.
12-year-old sick kid. And yeah, there's just
I thought
I
you were
walk
talking
in.
about like a full-on like adult,
No,
like, standing
no,
in
that's
line. I really need my fucking. I really need my Marlboros.
yeah. And then they're just like, oh. No. Luckily, it was a kid, which makes it better a little bit. But no one said anything to me. I discovered this by myself. There was just a line, just a trail of little X leading, and it was leading from the register to the men's room. And I go and I tell my manager, I'm like, you will not believe what just fucking happened right now. Like someone just shit themselves, and it's leading to the bathroom all the way again to the handicap stall, and it's all over the toilet, just exploded all over the toilet. And the kid left his shitty drawers just hanging out of the trash can, like on the
Why?
edge of the trash can, not all the way in it. And I mean, props to his mom. His mom came up and told me what happened. I was like, yeah, I already know. And she was like, do you have a mop? Like, I'll help, like, try to clean it up myself.
Hey,
So his mom's,
at least she was willing to throw in a lending hand.
yeah, but it didn't help. Like, she just made it worse.
Ugh.
I mean, she tried her best, but I ended up having to mop up shit and put on gloves and a mask and clean up shit.
Mm.
And the whole time, like, the night manager, who is the worst person I've ever met in my entire life, is just like yelling at me, like, that's what you got to do with this job. Sometime at this job, you got to clean up shit. That's just what you do. And I'm like, well, then you come clean up shit, bitch. Like, why? I'm actively doing it. I'm not like, oh, I'm not going to clean up this shit. I'm mopping up shit with a mask and gloves on. And she's like, that's what you got to do here. To work in this job, you got to clean up shit. And I'm like, all right, well, I guess I still work here then because I'm cleaning up shit right now.
You're a better man than I am. There's no way I could go back to doing that type of job. There's just no way.
Normally I wouldn't, but the thing is I did the same kind of things. Like I've had to clean up shit at my job before this, but this job pays a lot more than that. Like you think that gas stations don't pay well. Like I make a livable wage working at this gas station. It's kind of ridiculous.
No, it's because it's a dangerous job.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. I've had someone threaten me like to come behind the register and kick my ass before.
Why? Because you wouldn't sell them some a Slurpee or something.
Well, because it was cruising the coast, Jason Robbins.
Oh yeah, great.
It
Love
was a
those
cruiser
people.
driving a classic car who didn't know how to pump gas. I turned his gas pump on,
Do what now?
and he
Say that
didn't know
again.
how to pump gas. It was a cruiser driving a classic car who didn't know how to pump gas.
And I imagine he was an old man.
Oh yeah,
How do
the
you not know
oldest.
how to pump gas? I mean, I can understand if you live in like New Jersey or something. There's a lot of people from New Jersey who don't know how to pump gas because it's illegal in New Jersey to pump your own gas.
I don't know where he was from, but he before he came in to pay for his gas, he took the thing off and put it in his car. And so I'm loading the money that he's paying onto the gas pump, but the thing's already in your car. You have to hang it back up for it to load the money onto it. You can't just take it off and put it in your car and then go pay. That's not how it works. So he comes in the gas station like 3 times. And the last time he was like, finally, like, I'm going to come back there and kick your ass if you don't turn it on. And I told him, let me go get my manager before I beat the fucking shit out of you. And then he left the gas station and apparently figured it out his goddamn self. Because he didn't want me to kick his ass.
I hate cruising the coast. Cruising, if you don't live here and you don't know what it is, we live on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi. We live in a tourist destination. And once a year they do this thing called Cruising the Coast, where how many people was it this year? Like 70,000 people descend upon the Gulf Coast, and and it's all boomers. It's all boomers with their classic cars, and they come down here and they fucking clog up all the fucking roadways, and they're rude to everybody. They don't fucking tip anywhere. And that's what I used to work in a restaurant, and we hated when they came in, especially like all the waitresses and stuff, because they're just the rudest people you will ever meet in your life. They come down here, they treat everybody like shit. They act like their shit don't stink because they have, like, you know, a fucking cherry 1972 Pinto. Like, go fuck yourself, you old bastard.
Yeah, dude, they're the worst people. I mean, it's as like 70,000 people spread across 3 very small cities. Biloxi, Gulfport, Ocean Springs.
Like
that's the only place
the city I live in, Ocean Springs, I think has a population of like a little less than 30,000. I think Biloxi has maybe 40 to 50. I don't know. It's not that many people that live within these small metropolitan areas. Then you have 70,000 people descend onto our little towns. We don't have the infrastructure for this shit. Like, dude, there was a Friday, the Friday that they were in Ocean Springs. I left. You've seen where I work, right? I work like maybe a half a mile, maybe 3/4 of a mile away from McDonald's. And that's where I go get lunch sometimes. I'll just pop down to McDonald's and back. I can go to McDonald's, get in the drive-thru, and get back to work within like 7 minutes. Is how far away it is. And on that Friday, it took me 45 minutes to go from work to McDonald's and back. I was so mad because they're just like in the road, they're like doing like 15 miles an hour. And then they do that spin out shit where they stop traffic completely so they can burn out. I'm like, I hate everything about you, and I hope you have a heart attack and die. Which I shouldn't say that, but I think it.
Yeah. I mean, it's okay if you just think it. Anything's okay if you just think it.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I don't want to get canceled for wishing death upon old people.
Yeah. Oh, I do it often. Like, I mean, because like if I ever get in like another fist fight, which I'm going to, guys. I'm gonna get in another fist fight. When I do, it's gonna be like a significantly old person that I'm fist fighting. Like, it's just gonna have to be.
And I'm a peaceful man. Like, I am a peaceful person. But there is nothing that gets me more angry than people that come down here for Cruising the Coast. Like, I hate every single one of them.
Yeah, I'm not a peaceful person. It just so happens that, like, when someone decides to be on a bunch of bullshit, like, it's not a young person, because they've like someone who is within the ages of, let's say, like 25 to 45. Like, they've been working a shit job for a very long time, and they've had to deal with people being shitty to them a lot. Yeah. So like anytime, like, even if I go through the McDonald's drive-thru and they're like the worst at their jobs, I'd be like, I understand. Like, I've been in this shit before. Like, old people they don't understand. It's like, I've been selling real estate since 1975. And
I think everybody on the planet, everybody in America should have to work a service job, at least have to do public service at a service job at least 1 year out of their life.
Yeah. I mean, props to you if you don't have to do it, but it's like you're grandfathered into the job that you have now.
Yeah.
Like if you had to go back into the workforce, you'd be fucked.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, these people started working for they started working for the post office in like 1957 and worked at it for like 40 years and retired with like, $75,000 a year pension. And then they retire and they're like, I'm going to spend all my money on a 1972 Scirocco and make that bitch cherry. And then I'm going to go down to the Gulf Coast and drive 3 fucking miles an hour.
Yeah, dude. Like even the people, like even the old dudes around here that work at the shipyard and shit, like if they reevaluated their skills, which they don't do, but if they just did a skills reevaluation to see like, can you weld? Like, can you actually weld? They wouldn't be able to. They just wouldn't be able to do it.
See, that's the thing. Like I went to Oklahoma on my own a few years ago, like 13 years ago, working with a friend of mine, and I got taught how to weld and fabricate stuff in like 2 weeks. And I was like building shit like cages for bobcats. That's what my job was, to build roll cages for bobcats, because it was a tree cutting company. So we had to build like these big cages for the bobcats, so just in case they, fucked up and had a tree fall on it, they wouldn't die. So I had to build all this shit. I learned how to do it in like 2 weeks. Like, you go out to the shipyard, like, these motherfuckers are apprentices for like 7 years before they get to do their actual job.
Oh yeah, dude. My dad has been a first class welder for at least 30 something years. And he's still just a first class welder. Like he's not management or anything like that. And he's been doing it for 30 years.
Well, there's not much
At the
room to go
highest
up
level.
at the shipyard. Once you hit a certain point, it's like you either
Right.
have to go into management or you're just stuck.
Right. Or you got to wait for someone to die
Yeah.
on the job because none of them retire.
No. That's pretty much how it is with graphic design jobs too. Like, I went to college, got a degree in graphic design, got out of college. Guess what? There are no graphic design jobs anywhere, because people that get into graphic design jobs stay there until they die. They do not leave, because once you get that job, you do not leave it. And that's why I've spent, and never been able to really get a full-time job as a graphic designer, because there are no jobs. None, ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there it is, kids. Don't go to college. Just
don't go to college.
Learn a trade.
I miss like 2012, dude, where rent was like $600 and you could get like a really good job with just an associate's degree.
Yeah. Well, the best thing to do, the best way to learn how to do something. I mean, you could go get a certificate, like go take get a tech certificate. It takes like 6 months or a year at like a community college or something to do, and that helps. Best thing to do to learn how to do something, just go hang out and go to work with somebody that's like, like a plumber. Like, just be like, hey, pay me like $2 an hour. I'll come hang out with you for like 2 weeks to learn how to plumb, and you'll probably do better than most of those classes.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's definitely some old salty dog who owns a plumbing company.
Yeah,
like,
he needs
shit, boy, I'll teach
needs
you
a helper.
to
I'll teach you how to do this shit.
Yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much this episode, isn't it?
That's it. We're almost
just us bitching
minutes.
about our jobs again, huh?
Well, you have to, have a good episode where we tell people our horror stories of some of the crap jobs we've had to do. My crap jobs are in the past. You're still in the midst of yours, so.
Oh, mine are ahead of me. Like the worst things I'm gonna have to do are in the future.
Yeah. Sounds fun. We'll be here for it, and you can bitch on the podcast here.
Yeah, we need to name this episode before we get out of here, though, don't we?
What are we gonna call it?
Handicap stall horror stories.
Sure. I'm gonna have to write that down. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get out of here. Anything else to throw out there before we leave this episode?
No, I mean, we have guests coming up and I don't want to tell you who they are because they might not come
No,
on
he's
the
going to be
show.
here. We're recording another episode tonight for next week's
Okay.
episode, and he's a really cool dude. He's going to be here, and I can't wait for you guys to listen to it. So thank you for hanging out with us and listening to our stupid stories. And if you have any horror job stories you'd like to share, you can email them to us at openmicerspodcast@gmail.com. We're at openmicers on Twitter and Instagram. And TikTok too, but we haven't done any TikToks in a while, so we need to get back on that. Open Micers, patreon.com/OM podcast is our Patreon. Go over there and support us, and we will see you guys next week. What, no stinger?
That's the stinger.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end the Twitch stream. We'll be back in just a little while. So thank you for watching on Twitch and YouTube, and we will see you guys next time.